Welcome to the Theatre of Dreams here at Darcy Street. South Hobart taking on Launceston City in round 7 of the PS4 NPL Tasmania competition. Heavy favourites today. You'd suspect South Hobart coming up against the City side that have shown good attacking signs through periods but have struggled to put a full 90 minutes together. They're going to need to do that today if they're to take anything away from a pretty strong South Hobart team. Last time when they met on this ground, they really put them to the sword. It was double figures that day. That was early last year, and certainly they'll need to be tight at the back, or it might be a similar story today. City just the solitary point heading into this one. They probably missed a few chances in winnable games earlier in the year, and they've got it certainly a tough ask today. Andrew Cooling, bring this one to you. Jake Morgan will be joining me shortly. We'll run through the teams here for this clash, starting with South Hobart at the back. Dogger Daniel Brown, rock solid as ever, having a pretty good year. In behind him, another Brown. Kieran Brown has assumed the number 1 goalkeeping duties at South Hobart since Graham Wright went back overseas. Number 9, Ryan Cook. Expect to see him out on a wing today. Number 3, Adam Gorry, just picked up where he left off last season, having a fantastic year as a marauding fullback. Number 11, Benjamin Hamilton. Quite the impact in the Launceston Cup on Monday. He'd been out for a month with injury and then just slotted a lazy 10 goals to guide them to a big victory over Launceston United. He'll start up top, and they have lacked a striker in recent weeks in the NPL. I think that was definitely on display last week up at Devonport. Hugh Ludford makes a return to the side. He replaces Oscar Thomas. He'll be the starting centre-back alongside Brown. Caleb Ludlow will sit just in front of them. Nick the Mortog Morton, I'd expect, to the most advanced of the midfielders. Connor Schmidt, who's playing on a wing this year and playing pretty well. He'll be up there with Alex Walter, along with Oscar Thomas, James Wilson, Jacob Brennan, Luke Farrell and Liam Quayle on the bench. I'm guessing that must be injury related. Or playing too many games, because he's not a fella you'd have out of your starting lineup unless there was something wrong there. So that is the South Hobart lineup for today. Moving on to the Launceston City side. Up top, Nathan Bartlett and Aaron Campbell. They're going to need to get amongst the goals. It's been a bit of a problem for them this season, scoring goals. Andrew Compain, another one who can hit the score sheet. He'll play an attacking role. Number 22, Reece Gould, expect him at the back. Number 13, a player of considerable promise, Mackenzie Hancock's a real bright young talent. And looking forward to seeing what he can do. I'm glad he's in the starting lineup. I think he's a player with a bit about him, and he should bring a bit of a goal threat, as will number 10, Vincent Camano. He's played at many clubs over the last few years and now settling into this City lineup. He's back in the team today, as is Kyle Kelly, the Irishman. Haven't seen a lot of him since he made his debut at Wentworth Park. Number 11, speaking of talented youngsters, Jared Linger. He's a fine, very smooth operator, Jared Linger. Fancy footwork, and he's going to need to have a big game today, as will number 14, Scott Marnie. He'll be at the back. And against a very potent South Hobart team, he's going to need to stand up. David Smith in goals, one of the best keepers in the league, very reliable custodian. One suspects he might be busy this afternoon. Number 4, Dylan Williams, a player City need a lift from here today. One of their imports. He's been a bit flashy at times, but he needs to put together a full 90 minutes if he is to help them cause an upset today. On the bench, Thomas the Iceman Frost. Number 15, Noah Myers, another one of those youngsters, came off the bench and guided them through to the next round of the Launceston Cup. And number 21, the cider maker, William Smith, backup goalie. So we're nearing a readiness here today at Darcy Street as we have a look at that ladder. And that's the Women's Super League ladder, in fact, I think we've got hooked in there. Hobart Zebras leading Kingra Lions 7-3 late in that game this afternoon. And it was 2-1 Kingra at half-time. Bit of a surprise there, but Zebras seem to be getting on top. There's a handshake and a bit of a hug down there between Ken Morton and Ben Brookfield. I mean, the real master and apprentice type set up there. One of the young coaches of the league in Brookfield. And of course, the wise old owl himself, Kenny Morton, sliding in alongside me to call this one today. Jakey Morgan. Jake, what are you expecting from this afternoon?
Oh, I'm expecting a big game, Andrew, but For me here today, it'll be all about my boys South Hobart, expecting potentially big things from Big Ben 10, Ben Hamlet, but I haven't seen him around the ground yet here today, so...
He's starting, no?
He's starting? Oh, I'm expecting good things there then. No, it should be a good, tough, well-contested match.
As the sides prepare to march out here, Craig Phillips, our official, in the middle of the salvo. Big Davey Smith, just with a glint in his eye. I think he might be busy, the Launceston City keeper, but he's more than capable number one to have in net.
Bit of a Tom Heaton sort.
Yeah, might need a Tom Heaton-esque performance today against a South Hobart side who been pretty free scoring. In 3 games against City last year, scored 23 goals. So I think it's an improved City lineup this year, but certainly...
I think I would call that setting a precedent, Andrew.
Yeah, they were all over them when they met them last year. Certainly City going to need to tighten up at the back today, but 2 different lineups, and we look forward to seeing what a pretty young Launceston City side can produce as they come down here against South Hobart. And Darcy Street always a bit of a fortress and a tough pace to take points from today. I'm assuming you're tipping South Hobart to win this one, Jake?
Oh, I think I'll be pretty comfortable giving South Hobart a big 5-0 tip today.
Yeah, I think they'll get it done comfortably. City, you've got the players who can probably do a bit of damage on the counter-attack. They've got some live wires up there. Haven't quite strung it together this year, but it's all going to be about how can that defensive unit hold out against a very strong South Hobart side.
Really expecting a big game today from the Morthog. Quite an imposing figure to have in central midfield, and I'm just not sure that Launceston have the kind of player that can match the physicality that Morthog offers them. But just starting to get underway here now, so expecting big things from this South Hobart team and expecting big things from this Launceston defence.
Yeah, they're going to need to dial it up today. South Hobart will look to jump back up the table. Devport sitting on top after their heroics yesterday. But certainly Olympia and Zebras still to play. That will probably change by the end of the round. And the 2 captains in the middle here with the toss of the coin. Which, first moral victory of the day to Launceston City. Granted, both teams had already staked out their ends, so I don't think it was really going to matter too much. No slope at this ground, Jake.
Oh, there is a bit. Just heading down the other way, not towards either goal, Andrew. Could be a factor here today. Could see it bogged down on the far side.
The slopeologist, Morgan.
Qualified. Well, I did get big raps for my goal yesterday over at Wentworth Park. That hill certainly was a big factor.
Oh, proved to be.
But no, not expecting that today here at Darcy Street. It's quite a beautiful pitch, one of the best grassed pitches that you see in southern Tasmania, and always love to see the real grass in action, me, a purist.
I love the standout here too. Always a favourite venue to come at Darcy Street. A real old-fashioned football ground feel to it. It's a great place to come watch a game of a Sunday afternoon, or tune in from afar to our yammerings as we're just about in already just now. Craig Phillips to drop the ball. Mackenzie Hancock's preparing to kick things off for this young Launceston City side. I think it'll be South Hobart. Talk about hills quite often. It can look like they're running downhill all 90 minutes at Darcy Street. Big job at the back for Gould and Marnie, and we're underway. And back goes City. Immediately long pass over the top. And City looking to make some early inroads down the right and doing so well here. Across to deal with him is Huey Ludford. There's Aaron Campbell getting on the ball early in this one. Plays it in to Bartlett, looking to turn and shoot. Scooty shot a little, Kamano lurking, but Adam Gorry steers it away, and there is Ben Tan up top. Oh, and he's going to pounce at this one early. Benny Hamlin, he scored 10 last week. He might get one in the opening minute here. David Smith denies him. What a fine piece of keeping. They're unlocked at the back there. The danger not done into Morton. Puts it past the post. And City coming incredibly close to going a goal down twice in the space of the opening minute.
Isn't it all excitement here early at Darcy Street? We saw a beautiful bit of play out there on the right from Aaron Campbell for Launceston to just carry a threat early for them, but boy, didn't Ben 10 threaten them on the counter just there. He's certainly given the keeper a job to do, and he saved well with his legs, and unfortunately Morton couldn't bring in the follow-up either, but positive signs for both sides early. I'm suspecting an interesting battle between Connor Schmidt and Aaron Campbell out here on the right today. Big header one by Danny Brown. Paul Gorry gets involved, out to Ludlow. Brown gets the ball absolutely snatched off his feet by Dylan Williams. Breaks forward, plays a lovely ball in, and Campbell just can't get on the end of it. Very open game just here at the start, Andrew.
Yeah, it is indeed. As the Mortog gets on the ball, lays it off to the chef. He storms forward, shows a bit too much of it there to Bartlett, but gets away with it. Caleb and Ludlow. It's now to Schmidt. He's changed position again with Liam Quayle out of the side, just slotting in at left back. That one's broken up only as far as Kobe Kemp. Walter is coming back for an offside position, so just lets it go and it doesn't roll out. Comes to a halt. And this play just froze there for a moment here at Darcy Street. Now it goes.
Thought he was going to take a corner for a minute. Kelly launches the ball back into play. Gorry in there with a header. Falls away now to Morton. Dan Brown plays it across to his defensive partner.
The veterans reunited at the back today for South, Brown and Ludford.
They've certainly spent a bit of time together, the two of them. Imposing pair.
As Morton works it to the midfield maestro, Kobe Kemp. South Hobart will be patient with the build-up, and you'd expect City to drop plenty of numbers behind the ball. Hancock's playing up top today for them, and he'll be looking to get on the end of some direct balls and counter-attacks. He'll have a tough ask up against a couple of pretty sturdy centre halves. Here's one of them in Ludford. Hamlet wants it short. Instead, Morthog switches it for the overlapping Gorry. Tracking that one up against Williams and just overhit a little, and now a play it goes.
Been very impressed so far by South Hobart's movement off the ball. They're really, really working hard to scream and give the player on the ball an option, and it's just fantastic to see at this early stage that they're looking to pass the ball around and not play any kind of silly long balls.
I don't think we'll see too much of that from South, especially in the early going. Perhaps if they struggle to break through. But David Smith taking the goal kick in front of the great Walter Pless down there, taking his fine photos as per usual, away by Gorry. Very overcast day here at Darcy Street. The threat of rain about, but holding off for now. Very murky. I think City will just be hoping to get through the opening 20 minutes here against South Hobart. They're a side that can get on a real roll and smell a bit of blood in the water if they get an early one. So surviving these early exchanges will be key. And Walter looking to use his pace to get in behind Gould here. He jinks inside. Storming to the box now. Walter sets it up for Hamlet. Blocked to Morton. He's shot blocked. The City defence doing their job. Getting back. Getting in the road of those shots. Ludlow out to Gorry. See plenty of those diagonals to him today, I think. Just storms down that right-hand channel. One of the hardest workers in the competition. Ludford to Morton. Dexterous there from the savvy veteran. He chips it over, lets off for the overlapping Schmidt. It just skids off the surface a bit, made it tough to track down. He's done really well to win a corner in the end there, Connor Schmidt.
No, some very good work down there from Connor Schmidt. He overlapped very well, and just as the ball was about to run out of play, he's done fantastically well to win the corner for his side there, and really getting something out of nothing. Lovely ball in over the top from Morton too, who's just looking to take this corner short.
Kobe Kemp sets up to the back post. Smith claws it away only as far as Gorry. He cuts it back, but only City bodies there. Smith got into trouble there, eventually clawed it out of the top window. Here's hammer time. Hamlet hits the deck. It was more of a slip than a foul though. No protest
I certainly like to see no protest from the bloke there. He just got back up and got back on with the play. No mucking around.
Another chance for Kobe Kemp. So Rappy's boot rounded. Adam Gorry offering short, and it's acknowledged. Ludlow wants this. He'll get it. Now Caleb Ludlow swings it in over the head of Morton, and it should be cleared here by Compain. He goes down the line for Vinny Camano. Just holds up a little and waits for support. Did it very nicely, but he's passed. Didn't pick out Compain. And South Hobart able to regain the ball. Here's the chef. Works it to the Morthog. Short passing there, comes undone. Morton seizes on an errant pass and smashes it over the top. Took a little deflection though, so corner number 3 coming up.
Really starting to turn the screws here now, South. We just haven't seen really any threat carried from Launceston City over the last 5 to 10, or last 5 minutes we'd say. But yeah, just early from here, they're really starting to take the ascendancy, South Hobart, and you're beginning to think that it could be a matter of time before they get the breakthrough.
So plays it in near post. Couple of South Hobart bodies there. Back out to Kobe Kemp. Shifts in, dangerous ball. Just snuck over the line, South Hobart, with 2 free runners at the back post. Well, that spelt danger. Williams now for City, and Walter tracking back, breaks it up again. They're just running into a South Hobart wall at midfield at the moment, City, whenever they try and clear their lines. South Hobart firmly in the ascendancy.
They've just done this so brilliantly so far, South Hobart. They're winning the ball very high up the pitch, and it's just giving absolutely no chance for Launceston City to get in behind. Probably a good example of the phrase that the best defence is a good offence.
As Morton works into the box, again cleared by Gould, only as far as Kemp. Switches the point of attack nicely to Adam Gorry. He links up with Walter. Just set it out too far ahead of him. Dylan Williams puts it behind. And I think a lunge there, trying to prevent the corner. Again, South Hobart probing, and Nick Morton prominent early in this one. His ability to beat the defenders. Already a 4th corner of the game in the opening 10 minutes. We've seen this script at this ground before. Swings in the Brown direction off the head of Hamlet. Ludford tried to set the volley, still with a chance. He lashes it and deflected wide. And that was Morton in the end, I think, who got the final touch. Hit with ferocity from Ludford, the old warhorse.
Oh.
And Morton just deflects it wide.
Yeah, he might cop a bit of flack for that one in the change room from the old boy. Do get the feeling that they will get more chances in this game. Once again, South recover possession very quickly. Look to go right back to the keeper this time. Just starting to see a little bit more of a forward press here from Lonnie. But once again, South pretty comfortable to play through them.
Ooh, so the chef cops a little whack there, and he is broken up by Scott Marnie. Hamlet came in with a shoulder, and the little man tumbles the big fella.
I'm going to give him a 5.5 for that one. Certainly made the most of it. Did have a lovely flowing view of that fantastic mullet though on that replay.
Campbell gets some running repairs made.
Certainly taking their time with this free kick here, Lonnie. Maybe happy with where the scores are at the moment.
Thumped along, but straight to the head of Kobe Kemp. Nods it forward. Marnie again. He's a no-nonsense customer at the back, Scott Marnie. There's Morton. Ludford to Cook. Schmidt with some fancy footwork. Camano tracking back, and together with Compain, they conspire to rob him of the ball. Again.
Just see a lovely bit of touch down there from Kenny Morton on the bench.
Silky skills from the Silver Fox.
Silky skills.
Here's Ludlow. Gorry under pressure from Williams. And Williams is forced to turn over here. Unfortunately for him, it's spilled to Brown, who was across in coverage. Kieran Brown now to Ludford. And South Hobart unhappy to patiently stroke the ball around here. Slowly work their way into attack. The defence heavily involved in the passing game. Ludford chips it over the top. Seen away from Schmidt. Oops. They drop back here, now Cook. It's away from Barney, works it to Schmidt. Closed down by Compain.
Seeing a similar setup to what we were seeing in the game yesterday here, Andrew, at the moment. Wingers for Lonnie United, Lonnie City rather, are certainly willing to drop back behind the play and get right next to their fullbacks and effectively make it a back six at times. And with the overload that South have had on at times, it's certainly been a sensible strategy and one that's kept it at 0-0 so far.
Hancock's wanting this one, he's ignored. Might get the ball back. And again, South Hobart just winning the ball back immediately. Hamlet robbed of it by Marnie, did well. Works it into the middle there for Jared Linger. Now he sets it out for the likes of Hancock's and Kamano, but Ludford was on hand to steer it away. Can City make something of this? Not had too much of the ball in South Hobart's half in the first 13 minutes. Here's Ludlow. Offset forward. Ooh. Kamano lurking, but Ludford whacks it up into the air and out of play.
Just amazed that that stayed in the ground.
Yeah, just straight up, it would seem. Like it wasn't too long for the ground. As Hancock's gets the last touch on that. Behind it goes for a goal kick.
Been reasonably impressed by Gould and Marnie so far in keeping Ben Hamlet quiet for South. They've certainly been organising their outfield players, getting them into the right spots, and it's been a fairly disciplined performance so far from Lonnie, but just a cheap turnover here from South Hobart that might give them a chance to get a ball into the box. Campbell to take.
Finds Bartlett. Away from him. Marnie just puts the laces through it. Good ball in the end of Kamano. Took a touchdown to Dylan Williams. Knocks it into his own path to run to, but again, Brown across and puts it behind for a corner.
There's certainly alert to the danger there, Brownie, and gets in and concedes the corner. Certainly got the height advantage on them here today, South Hobart, so I don't think they'll be too worried about what they're going to get at corners.
Well, I won't get anything with delivery like that. Linger picks out the near post, swings it in again, headed away. Down by Campbell. Now Hamlet lurking. Oh, Cook's made a surging run through the middle if they can pick him out. The moment perhaps has passed now. Gould out across to win this one. Sees it away from Gorry. I think the early ball might have been on to Cook there. Morton does well to track back and win it. He's been busy early at the Morthog. Slides this one through to Hamlet. Hamlet to the overlap of Cook. He fires near post, and a safe pair of hands is shown by David Smith.
Yeah, he got good power in his shot there, Cook, but unfortunately not enough to really work the keeper. As Lonnie looked to break away. Imposing defending once again from Brown. He's been very solid at the back today. Not given Lonnie a sniff. Oh, Hammer Time just gets in ahead of the keeper there.
Well, he's got Cook in the middle. He's got Ludlow too! And Caleb Ludlow hammers it home. City worn apart at the seams at the back, and Caleb Ludlow opens the scoring.
And you have to say that it has been coming for some time, Andrew.
Yeah, they've been on top here. And I think that's Caleb Ludlow's first goal since returning to the club.
And a clinical finish it was. Brilliant work out there on the flank from Ben 10 to get the ball into the box too. Well finished, despite the option of Cook by Ludlow, and yeah, very good signs here early from South Hobart. Always worrying when a team in the ascendancy gets the early goal. Means teams like Lonnie can't really sit back and defend all game like they were early. Could open up the game a bit more and let us see even more goals here, hopefully. Marnie moves it on quickly. It's a brilliant diagonal ball, and they get their first ball in here, but once again, stellar defending by Danny Brown. Just gets this one in over the top of him though, but it's all South Hobart around the ball. Morton looks to play the ball over the top to Hamlet, but just cut out there by Marnie. Just starting to see a little bit more from Lonnie post South Hobart's first goal in the game, but certainly be looking to get back level very quickly.
Yeah, they needed a quick response. And they conjure something on this occasion. Here's Morton. Works it forward for Ben 10. Back to Morton.
They've got a big overlap out here on the right.
Forwards. One of them was Walter. Takes it down nicely and beats his man. All ends up. It's Alex Walter now. He fires a shot with power, but Smith had his positioning right. And again, a safe pair of hands from the City number one. He drilled that one near post. Delightful little run there.
I have to say, I've been impressed with Smith's hands today. He's not really dropped any balls that he shouldn't have. And Morton just looking to get away here, but good defending again from Marnie. He's certainly been busy today. Been the standout of the Lonnie players so far. Just another interception there again from Marnie. He's racking him up for fun at the moment. Just Lonnie lose out in midfield again. Comes through the Morthog, looks to get out wide to Walters. Another fine touch from Walters. Gets Gorry on the inside. Just goes back to Walters. They're looking to put a ball in here, South. A disappointing one in the end, and they win the throw.
And Gorry to take. Alec Walter looking impressive out there on the right-hand flank, causing a few problems for Gould, and he puts this one behind for another corner. South Hobart turning the screws early on. So Timber makes their way forward. It'll be Kobe Kemp to take. Swings it in, Dogger Brown the target, Dogger Brown the goal scorer. He rises high and nods it home. All too easy for the big South Hobart centre half. And 20 minutes in, ominous signs here at Darcy Street. 2-0 South Hobart.
Well, he rose well and he headed well, didn't he? And wasn't it lovely, lovely delivery into the box there, but just had a little bit too much height on it there for the Lonnie keeper to get in and tip that one away, despite being in the 6-yard box. But fantastic goal from old Dogger Brown right there, and big old smile on his face, which is good to see. Always love it when the centre backs get on the score sheet.
He loves getting forward and scoring a goal, old Dogger. Few enjoy a goal more than him. And he definitely enjoyed that one. 2-0 his side now leading, and it's a real mountain already for Launceston City. Seen this happen a few times, South Hobart at Darcy Street. Their record against teams in the bottom four is pretty ridiculous. City are going to need a lift. They could run up the score here today. Here's Walter lunging Marnie, slid at him.
Been very impressed with Marnie today. He's a good no-nonsense defender. There's just been a few interventions he's made that have been threatening to the players' welfare, I might say.
He's pretty late there. That was a Christmas party. He was rocking up for New Year's. A free kick in a good area. And Kemp punches it in on target, and again Smith with a sure pair of hands.
He was certainly letting his wall know where to be right then, old Smith, but another strong pair of hands from him. I've been impressed by the strength of his hands today. He's not allowing South Hobart to get any second opportunities, which is going to be very important if they look to get back into this game. Campbell just looking to get away on Schmidt. And the cover's well provided by Walters, but perhaps could have just communicated a little bit better with his central defender.
And here is Kemp, who swung in that lovely corner for goal number 2. Campbell through the middle, broken up by Brown. Morton beats Kamano to it. Walters' delivery wasn't the best though. Here's Jared Linger. City need to get him on the ball. He works it to Hancock's. And the later numbers win out for South Hobart. The youngsters up top for City just being out-muscled at the moment by the experienced South Hobart defence. Ludlow comes in at this one, but they work it to Jared Linger. Slid it through. Hancock's couldn't quite pick it up, and again Brown leads him to the ball. Experience at the back, looking in complete control as Campaign can't control that one. He goes out of play. Marnie.
Just been really impressed with Marnie today. I'm not sure how much of this is just because I'm absolutely enamoured with that hairdo. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the kind of hairdo that says as a central defender, I will snap your leg.
Perhaps the intention.
No, but he's played a fantastic game today. Been very impressed with him in the heart of a besieged Launceston City defence.
Unfortunately for him, he's the centre-back of a defence down 2-0 after 20.
And yet he still played a good game.
Linger looking for the runner Williams, but only picked out Ludlow. Gorry. Now Kemp. South Hobart been quite content to knock the ball around the back line today. Morton's been dropping back to link up the play quite nicely. He's been covering plenty of territory as the Morthog. This time they go a bit more direct for Walter, who just worked Campaign under the ball. Nicely, he's got Schmidt making a run into the channel for him. Cuts inside, he might fancy a shot here, Walter. It was blocked by Campbell. Morton picks it up. Looks it to Kemp.
Lovely pass.
Kemp slides a beautiful ball through for Cook. Couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Marnie with some fantastic bodywork right there too.
Love the intent of the Kemp ball almost as much as Jake Morgan loves Scott Marnie. Because this one's worked forward. Punched forward by Schmidt. Smith will saunter across and collect. Here is Marnie. It's a Bartlett, smash forwards. Kamano to target. Midfield battle won by City to Linger, who's given it up rather softly in the end. So number 7's Bartlett and Morton going at each other in the middle today. Neither looking to take a backward step. Kemp nods on, looking
just a hint of offside about Hamlet there.
He's picked it up here and fires off a shot quickly on the turn. Always rising high though.
Good footwork though to get himself into a position to strike that ball. Hasn't been quite as busy as I would have expected him to be today, so perhaps the Omnitrix watch hasn't kicked into the kind of alien monster that he can turn into on a football pitch. Full of goals, Ben 10. Lonnie looked to play it quickly. Cleared away by Schmidt. Morthog with the intervention. Lonnie just recover though.
Lingo working it forward to Hancock, who returned it back to him, forced him to retreat back to Marnie. Now Compain. And Bartlett smashes it forward rather aimlessly in the end, and Brown will collect. Not really threatening the South Hobart defence in the first half hour here, City. Looking very confident at the back of the hosts. This one's broken up by Williams, but Ludlow gets another bite at it. Adam Gorry in the charge forward, played it in for Hamlet. Looks for the return pass. And it's worked behind for another corner. And that is number 6 in the opening half hour. South Hobart, which is a fair reflection on how this game's been played so far.
Be interested to see if we could bring out our heat map technology right now, Andrew, because I'm pretty sure the South Hobart side of the pitch would be on fire at the moment.
Yeah, especially this right-hand side over here. Hill Street Gross are getting some great advertising bang for their buck right now. As this one is swung in, Hamlet lurking. But Smith collects comfortably enough. Immediate release to Compain. Good ball from Compain, just opens them up a little bit. And Campbell
Just got a
now
4-on-4 here.
able to surge forward. Still running here, going himself, and Gorry throws that down. He didn't have that much space.
Yeah,
very heavy touch.
A poor touch there, unfortunately, when he had a few options around him. Smith just puts his boot through that one. Thumped back down the field by Ludford.
Norton lays it
Just
back.
an errant pass there from Morthog, but not made to pay.
Nearly letting Kamano as Marnie comes over the top of Ben 10. Compain driving it along in the Hancock's direction. He's not got the height on Dogger Brown, but they get a reasonable result in the throw in there. I'm sure knocking long balls onto Hancock's head against Brown and Ludford's the best strategy, mind you. Here he is.
Perhaps it is if you can't play through the midfield when the South midfield are playing this well.
This one's collected by Brown, who quickly sets it off to the Warthog. Draws the defender, then slides it through for Walter with a delightful chip over the top for Schmidt. He's got 2 to pick out in the middle, and he picked out the one City player. Just sold it a little short.
Yeah, he just didn't quite get his foot over that ball, unfortunately, but once again carrying a threat here, South Hobart.
Opened up at the back, and here is Ben 10. Out to Walter. Walter swings it into the back post, and a push has been spotted there on Cook. So you have a look at the replay there. Walter and Schmidt combining nicely. He had a couple of runners in the middle. Cook totally unmarked if he had got it there towards the back post. That's what they do very well, South Hobart. Surge forward with a red wave through the middle of Darcy Street. There's plenty of leg speed out there.
Just really struggling to think what Launceston United, or Launceston City can do. Oh, I've been a chronic for that today.
Ben Hamlet firmly on your mind after he put 10 past them on Monday.
That's right.
So you need to watch out that they don't cop a similar treatment here.
That's right. We're just struggling to see what they can do to get back into the game here. The long balls aren't really an option. The South Hobart midfield's been so content on the ball that they haven't been able to play through them. Wide players are getting bogged back by the marauding wing-backs of South here, so really going to need a moment of magic to get back into this game.
I need someone like a Linger or a Williams who are capable of that, just to pull out that moment of inspiration, which Kemp tries to do, and drives one. Smith made the initial save, and then Cook on the rebound drove it wide, and maybe he should have done better on the follow-up there.
I have to
Ryan
say,
Cook.
I think he should have finished that one, as we just have a look at the replay here. Driving shot, uncomfortable bounce in front of the keeper, and yeah, perhaps he should have just finished at that near post. South recover though.
Here's Morton broken up. City look to counter the other way through Linger. Hancock sets it into the path of Williams, leaves it for Jared Linger. This is looking more promising. They've got a few numbers going forward, but the pass from Linger was a 4-1. Looking for Williams, and Brown puts it out of play.
Just ticking over into the 32nd minute of the game in a second. Still no real chances for Lonnie as driving shot comes in there from Nathan Bartlett, which is just deflected away for a corner there. So perhaps this could be the opportunity for Lonnie to strike one back here. Certainly don't appear to have the height advantage over South in the box though.
So swings it into the back post. Brown gets it away. Now Hamlet looking to lead out on the counter. He'll wait for the supporting runners. Morton for Cook, who just dropped into the gap between defence and midfield. Took it nicely, and now it opens up at the back for South. They've played this well. Kobe Kemp back to Walter. Gliding through the defence is Walter. Makes a couple miss and then blocked behind by Marnie, and Walter cost himself a corner in the end with a touch that spills behind. See defence was scrambling back, and Cook just peeled off, found the space, and suddenly the numbers were flowing forwards for South Hobart. And Smith drives it long in the Hancock's direction, gets ahead to it before Ludford. Linger takes it down, showed it to Ludford though. Now Ben Hamlet turns and shifts it through for the chef. It's well defended away in the end. Seen away by Kyle Kelly, the Irishman.
He's had a busy game today, the Cook. Been making runs on all sides of the ground. Seen him and Walters swap sides on a couple of occasions, so really varying up their threat here today, which is typical of the Ken Morton teams.
Here's Morton, who's done plenty of work in the hole. This one might sit for Walter! Alex Walter makes the pay. It's set up perfectly for him from range, and as he wants to do, he smashes it into the back of the net. 3-0 South Hobart.
Campaign's touch just letting him down there, unfortunately for the young lad, and Alex Walters just makes him pay. The first time strike. Smith's had a fantastic game today, but I'd just ask a couple of questions about his positioning there. That's a little bit too far to his left on that one, but yeah, you'd have to say that there's unlikely to be any way back here for Lonnie now, and could be seeing a bit of a running up of the score by the South Hobart boys. The ball just flicks away off either Brown or Gorry. Oh, and a lovely little nutmeg there. Dribbling the ball well.
Oh, not dealt with.
Into the box, and just not dealt with at all by Schmidt or Ludford there. Not very typical of the two of them. Normally very composed in at the back, but the ball bobbling around like a pinball there for a minute. But Ben Hamlet, lovely. Steals into the ball, tries to play over the top to Walters, but Campaign gets his body into a nice position, but hacks the clearance a little bit, and another corner for South. As we just have a look again at Vincent Camano's effort to get the ball into the box. Nick Morton. Oh my goodness.
Pick that out. Nick the Bulldog Morton makes it 4, and this is getting ugly.
And I have just been caught by the classic watching of the replay, and within an instant, Nick Morton has just belted that ball into the top corner, and it's in danger of becoming a rout here today. Wasn't too pretty for the Launceston team last time they met this South Hobart side, but just a magnificent goal there from the Morthog. in an instant out of nowhere. A lot of smiles out there on the South Hobart faces.
Morton
now.
just cuts inside.
Really
His
going to be
defender
enjoying
all
this
ends
game.
up, and that's a perfect hit. That is
Taken with the laces, they don't get much better than that.
as good as you can hit a ball. Beat his marker, all ends up. And 2 goals in a minute for South Hobart. This is threatening to get ugly. They put Kingborough to the sword here a couple of weeks ago. We mentioned last year they did it to City a couple of occasions, and they need to step up here to stop the rot. It could well be 5 if they're not careful here. Morton coming through. He's got a man in the middle in Hamlet. Couldn't find him. Now Schmidt curls it in. Away. Come on, I'll take it. They should survive for the time being.
Just a bit of argy-bargy going on here between the Morthog and Gould, central defensive partner of Marnie here today, but sensibly controlled by the ref. He's had a good game today. There's certainly been no decisions that you'd question, but just played through here quickly to Hamlet again, and
he's put it wide. Barely Hamlet had a chance to make it 5.
He's just been called offside there by the linesman, which I think was the correct call. I was just thinking that he had a step of offside about him there, and no, another good call from our linesman over there. Been certainly very happy with the officials today. Oh, they're really starting to press high up now.
Yes.
Danger at every turn at the moment. Launceston United just look to get one back into the game here.
One back by Kemp. A free kick blown.
Not quite sure what that one was given for. I didn't quite catch that free kick there, but South to recover once again. Look to put a bit more pressure on this City defence.
So 4-0 as we approach the 40-minute mark of this one. South Hobart firmly in control. And for last place, Lonnie City. The mire deepens. They need to find a way to get to half-time without conceding again. And I think it's probably going to be damage limitation in the second, because at the moment this could well turn into a rout. Walter just doing as he will. Slides past a couple, works into Schmidt. He picks out Hamlet in the box. He turns and Smith denies him.
Marvellous save there from Smith. He got out very quickly then to just smother the ball at the feet of Hamlet and not give him a chance to get in for his first goal. Brilliant keeping.
Here's Morton again to Hamlet.
Nice little attempted flick through ball there from Hamlet to Walters, but just a little bit too much on it this time. This campaign looks to play Campbell in behind, but once again, just a little bit too much on that ball. Sting just starting to go out of the game in the last 5 minutes. South Hobart side are looking very comfortable. City side looking like they have few answers to this marauding performance.
South Hobart really, it's a training drill for them at the moment. As Gould sees this one away from Gorry. Linger.
Really busting a lung to get out there too, Gorry.
They've won it back. Eventually they clear.
Just a little bit exposed here potentially if City can play a quick ball out, but back to the keeper they go.
The frenetic press of South Hobart has brought them undone here. Is Dylan Williams. Works it forward for Kamano. Kamano's pass just overcooked, and that really tells the story of the first half for City. They've been off the pace and making errors. South Hobart absolutely punishing them for it. You've got to be just about perfect to come in to Darcy Street and take anything away from it. If you're a little bit off your game, they will punish you, South Hobart. Perhaps in the last season and a bit,
I think it's quite clear the difference between the two teams in not only are South Hobart's skills more refined, but their movement off the ball is really quite spectacular when you compare it to this Launceston City team. They're always prompting and probing, creating new triangles for their play to be played through, but yeah, just no answer here really for City.
Yeah, the table shows a fair divide between the top four and bottom four, and we're seeing that firsthand today, I think, as Marnie works the full, broken up by Ludlow. The through ball might land into the path of Hancock's, but Gorry's back there to deal with him. Schmidt back to Walter. Now Ludlow. Well done there by City. It's going to be a throw in to South Hobart.
Marnie's certainly unhappy with that decision. But certainly looked to us up here like a South Hobart throw.
Here's Ludford chipping it over the head of Marnie and into the path of Hamlet. Gould across to help out. Hamlet has his beating though. He's got both there beating. He doesn't have Smith's beating though. The keeper again.
And I think that is the third or fourth time today that Smith has denied Hamlet. He's not having as much fun as he had the other day, that's for sure.
Feel a bit for Davey Smith. He's having a good game, but the defending in front of him really making life difficult for the keeper.
Good.
Yeah, okay. He's made a few good challenges. I'm not sure the defensive unit have had many answers to South Hobart slick passing. Hamlet made them look lead-footed there. But Smith again making a good save. He's certainly not to blame for the scoreline. It'd be worse if not for his work. He's been hung out to dry. All right, the players in front of him, unfortunately, Smith.
Just really, you don't really see Launceston maintaining possession in any kind of threatening positions at any point of this game so far. There's been the occasional surge through, but really lacking the final ball. Just starting to gain a few more metres here as they play through to Hancox, who tries to give it a bit of a bird camp against Newcastle there, but I don't think he knew too much about it. Blocked out there by Linger. Gorry to take the throws. We just creep into the last minute of this half.
Here's Brown. Of course, these sides set to meet again in a quarter-final of the Lacquer Cup next week. Is sitting now, sees on an arrow at the back. This is a great chance, sliding in from the clouds was Ludlow. What a great challenge that was. Sees the ball away from him. That is a brilliant piece of work, and that is why Ken Morton was so keen to bring Ludlow back. As Hamlet and Marnie come together in the middle, and it's a straight red card shown to Hamlet here. Well, we'll have to have a look at the replay of that one, but
there is certainly outrage in the crowd here at Darcy Street, but I'm not sure. There could have potentially been, must have been a little bit of a stamp in there or something, but I certainly haven't seen it. But the ref was in no doubt and very quickly in with the card after a pretty big coming together between Hamlet and Marnie.
We have the replay going here.
Just as we have a look at the challenge here. Yeah, and he's just kicked out at him.
Kicked out at him, and Phillips has said, I'm having none of that, off you go.
Well, could just see a different performance now from South, who might be just a little bit more happy to sit back, but just the last chance here of the half for Launceston City, and it's played through.
Good save by Kieran Brown there. Had to be good. City turning here, fires it away.
Oh, getting themselves into a good position there, Launceston, just post the dismissal. But that's certainly changed the game. I think there'll be a few Launceston City fans in the crowd who are quite pleased to see South Hobart be reduced to 10 men.
Might have a more even contest, but it also might take a bit of the spectacle out of the second half. City need to seize on this advantage and go all out attack, I reckon. The goal before half-time might just give them a little bit of belief, but Ludford shuts that down. But
I wouldn't be surprised if the end result of this is that we see a South Hobart side that are somewhat willing to sit back, but I think they'll still be quite comfortable to leave 2 or 3 players forward here. Just looks like Nick Morton's slotting into the striking role at the moment. As Campbell takes a nice touch. Good little feint there on Schmidt, cuts in and shoots, but no real power behind the shot despite being on target. But just seeing a few more positive signs here from Launceston City.
and that is
that'll be
half-time.
half.
So we head to the sheds. South Hobart 4 to the good, but 1 player short after Ben Hamlet was given his marching orders just before half-time. Before that, it was all one-way traffic. South Hobart really threatening to put them to the sword. City have got some serious regrouping to do if they're going to get anything from this one. They've been given a slight lifeline, but it's going to be pretty tough for them to get back in this one now.
Yeah, certainly I think the standout performer so far has been Nick Morton for South Hobart. He's contributed a couple of assists today and just generally been a ball through that midfield, just been charging through Launceston City. So just where it's at for this next half, I think we're probably going to see a bit more of a reserve game than we've seen in this first half. South Hobart going down to 10 men. Just think that they'll be pretty comfortable to sit back with a 4-0 lead, but they'll certainly still carry a threat on the counter, and hopefully we can see a bit more from Launceston City in the second half with the numerical advantage.
We'll be back with that shortly and leave you with the action from the first 45. So back here for the second half at the Theatre of Dreams at Darcy Street, South Hobart, looking to jump back up that table. That's how it stood heading into this one. Devonport on top. Of course, the big game on Anzac Day between the Warriors and Zebras will mean that will just be a temporary stay at the top for the Devonport boys, but South Hobart, we're looking to jump back above those two with 3 points in this one. Ken Morton has spoken about the importance of goal difference in a tight season like this and how he wants his side to run up the score. Going to be made harder by the fact they're down to 10 men. Ballard Ben 10, he's been back a week, scored 10 goals and now he's been sent off, so an action-packed week.
It's bringing a whole new meaning to the phrase, isn't it, here today?
Real double meaning now. But just a lack of discipline there, and Morton won't be happy with that. He's just got back from an injury layoff. They've really missed him. They've missed that striker.
Especially having Big Lazinski out too.
He's out now. they're going to be without Hamlet again. So they head into the Lacquer Cup rematch of this one next week.
You just think, though, that with those two players out for a little period now, it's been really hard to assess where South Hobart are at without their cutting edge so far this season. They sit fourth on the table, I think it is, at the moment, with a pretty comfortable top four established in the Premier League at the moment. But you just think that they'll offer a bit more against those top teams when they get players like Lazinski and Hamlet back playing regular football consistently. So just quite hard to assess where they're at the moment as a club, but I will be expecting a lot more of them as the season rolls on.
Yeah, look, I think we've learnt probably this is the last, obviously, game for the first full round of fixtures. Everyone's played everyone after this one. The top four are all quite capable of beating each other. Devonport meeting South Hobart, but they drew with Zebras and lost to Olympia. Olympia killed by South Hobart on opening night, but then they absolutely torched Devonport. It's all over the place, and it's going to be who can be consistent over the full 21 weeks. A really even season developing. It's going to be quite an exciting title race. And as we mentioned, South Hobart will be acutely aware of the value of goal difference, and even with 10 men, I reckon they'll attack them here.
We'll just be interested here too to see who they opt to go with as their central striker. It looks like it's Walter at the moment, whereas I was expecting that they potentially give the big body of the Warthog a go up front. Certainly loves a goal, that bloke. But it just looks like they've opted to go with Walter. Offer a little bit of pace and trickery in behind.
Filled that role in Hamlet's absence earlier in the season. This is a 50-50. Linger gets there before Kemp, but Kemp wins the day, then works it to Morton. Some slick ball movement here, and Walter with the ball wide on the left. Oh, straight through the legs, easy as you like. Puts the ball in for Cook, and then Morton pokes it home, and it's 5-0 right off the bat. Well, 10 men, doesn't matter. South Hobart just keep on going.
Yeah, once again, it's impossible to beat 10 men if you can't get the ball off them, that's for sure. Some really good build-up play there from South Hobart, and lovely little finish there from Warthog.
So 5-0, and well, that's going to be utterly demoralising for City that have spent the half-time going, we've got the extra man, right, we can get an early goal and get back into us, and now it's 5-0, and just some lovely work there from Walter wide, put it in. Morton, slightly unlucky deflection, but Morton just wanted a bit more than Linger, just flung himself at it.
Yeah, pretty happy with the work from Heisenberg out there. South just looked to get back into this game, but once again, City rather looked to get back into this game, but once again, South just looking very comfortable on the ball despite having 10 men, but just given away there by Kemp. Camera makes the run. Oh, it's a lovely ball through, but just played off the back of his heel, unfortunately. First threat that we've seen City carry, but Nick Morton looks to get away up the flank, takes on his man. Perhaps a very good challenge just there too. So the corner in for South Hobart once again. Nick Morton looking to work away on the left side, just sort of slotting into the kind of role that Walter had in the first half. But a good challenge there from Bartlett to force the corner. Once again, we see Ludford and Danny Brown make their way into the box. Got goals written all over his eyes, Danny Brown.
So is Morton. Oh, deflects, and somehow that ball stays out. Free runners everywhere. He's got the extra man here. City looking a shambles at the back. And Marnie kept on going, in the end infringes.
Like a raging bull then, Marnie just drops the shoulder and charges in, and the correct decision given by the referee there, probably a free kick. Just a few little passes there between Gorry and Nick Morton. Just kind of dropping into a sort of free roll almost in this half, a sort of extra midfielder wide man here, Morton.
Oh, Kemp, silky turn there and sets it out in front of Schmidt. He beats Compain to it. And it goes back to Kemp. Such an intelligent passer of the ball, Kobe Kemp. He runs out of real estate on the wing here, though, and goes out for a throw in. Really, despite being a man down, this half beginning much the way the second half was played. Look at that for a sharp turn, just did Linger, all ends up there. And here is the Morthog. Kemp plays it out in front of him, but he's seen away there by Bartlett. Schmidt with the throw. Morton, the target, just looking to roll his defender here. He has some support, so he goes to Cook, who thought about the first time hit and just scuffed it. Dogger Brown at the back. Ludlow. And just making City chase them. Here's Schmidt.
Really seeing South Hobart's class here. It's pretty rare that you see a team with 10 men comfortably dominate possession in this manner.
Gorry allowed just a swoop on it. Everyone from the City defence just looking at each other. Gorry snuck in between 5 of them, and I think their heads might have dropped a little there from City.
They're looking a little bit demoralised out there, which is a little bit disappointing for a team playing against 10 men, but you sort of feel that they don't really believe that they can get back into the game, which is none too surprising playing a team of this class and being 5-0 down already.
Bit of news for their women's team. They lead 3-0 over University at half-time as Kamano crosses, but picked off by Ludford. Kamano working back will beat Gorry to it. Williams sitting right next to him, says, give me the ball and I'll take over. They do that. They work it to Campbell. And I don't know if he was trying to pass that one or shoot, but it wasn't very pretty either way.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling very confused about that one. Not really sure what he was going for, but
Horton 2 minds, I think. No threat in the end, but at least City able to get the ball in a threatening area for the first time this half.
Not sure if Dogger Brown was looking to put that back to the keeper or Ludford there, but it's ended up all right.
Warden and Walter and Kemp, it's slick ball movement from South Hobart this half. And there's the curse of the commentator for you. A wayward one from Schmidt. Marnie smashes it forward, straight down the throat of Walter, who gets his head up and running at the defence now. Left it behind though, and Marnie can play it to Hancock's. He's held his teammate short there. Slid in there for Campbell. Keeps it in. Turns back sharply. South Hobart getting plenty of numbers around, and they force him to go back to his keeper.
Just be good to see City get a bit of a spell of possession here at the moment, even if it's holding it back into their own half. Just feel like they need to get a bit of control back into this game. At the moment, they're being bossed in possession with 10 men. So, just like to see this kind of calm passing, but then Nick Morton's just swooped in there and grabbed the ball, looking to put it across to Walter.
Oh, cruel. It's a cruel game. Smith makes a fantastic point-blank save. It goes straight back to Walter, who walks it over the line, and Smith rightly questioning where on earth his defence was. Scythed apart again. It's 6-0. And this is getting ugly, even with just the 10 men. And Davey Smith has been hung out to dry today. He's played very well.
He's been crucified, mate. That's what's happened to him. He's not had a bad game either. He's been quite strong with his hands, and that was a beautiful reflex save, but unfortunately for him, it's just dropped right at the feet of Walter, who's gone the Arsenal way and just walked it in.
Did well initially, Walter walking it over. 6-0 South Hobart.
Yeah, just disappointing too from Marnie to allow Morton to win that ball just in the lead up to that goal. He's had quite a good game so far, but mistakes creeping in everywhere for everybody. Oh, nearly just allows Linger in there, Schmidt, but cleared away by the keeps. Just Kenny Morton looking to make a sub here in a minute. Looking like we'll see Oscar Thomas potentially be looking to replace a player like Cook or Walter, perhaps.
Interesting. Oscar Thomas, obviously a central defender. Is he just going to give one of the old boys a bit of an early bath? And it is just going to be like for like. So Ludford striding off, and the young pup Oscar Thomas will come on for him.
Perhaps expecting Kenny Morton to just sit back a little bit here, but nope, as you said, like for like switch, and looks pretty comfortable to keep attempting to run up the score with 10 men.
Why not? They've already put 2 past them. They're in complete and utter control of the game. It doesn't seem to faze them at all. They've got a player less. I mean, if you're a neutral rocking up to this ground, you'd just seen the last 10 minutes, didn't do a head count, you'd assume that it was City who were down to 10 men. South Hobart just had numbers all over them. And City need a lift.
I think the thing that's just really telling about this game, it is the off-the-ball movement of the South Hobart players. They're really willing to work a lot harder when they don't have the ball, to present, to make runs that will draw the opposition defender, whereas you're seeing a lot of static up top from Launceston City. And that is a shank, I would say. I can't really describe that one as anything else. It's blasted away. Kamano's perhaps been one of those players that just hasn't quite offered as much movement up top as some of the South Hobart players have for their side.
They're in behind again here. Walter surging into the box. Marnie just beats him to it.
Does well there, Marnie wins his team the throw.
Marnie punches it through the middle.
Campaign looking very open out there on the right at the moment.
The chef
should be looking to switch a ball across.
Looks at DeGorry to Ludlow. Williams looking to get involved in the play here for City. He's got a bursting runner in Campaign, but just did him no favours with the pass. Put it too far behind him, and South Hobart can get numbers back now. This is looking better though. Campbell picks it up. Gets around a couple. This is more promising from City. Can they find some end product? Williams crosses in. Dogger Brown rises high to clear. And then a clever foot in by Schmidt, and South Hobart are going back the other way. Cook is tearing into space. He's got Gorry surging on his outside. Does he know? He does. He works it too. Just couldn't quite pick him out. Oh! As Marty and Gorry have got the old boots stuck together there. It's like one of those finger traps with the studs.
Quite extraordinary. Haven't seen that happen.
Here's Linger. Not the silkiest touch from a man who's normally got a good first touch in Jared Linger. And sprays out of play. There's another sub, it would seem, in the offing for South Hobart. Young Jake Brennan being prepared for a run out there. Why not? Really good option off the pine. Gorry just cuts inside a Kamano. The game just coming to a temporary standstill. Long ball over the top. Morton's beating the offside trap. Brings it down. Good recovery there by Bartlett. Morton had snuck him behind the lines.
Yeah, he made a really good run and took a fantastic first touch, but then he just couldn't get it out from underneath his feet there, Morton. He's carried a massive threat today.
He's enjoyed himself out there, the Morthog. Here's Marnie. Williams. Spreads the play to Campaign. Hancock's bustling to the ball. He's got a little bit of separation from Thomas. He was pretty tight to him. Into the middle again for Williams. Needs to make something happen for his side. He chips one over the top into the path. Mackenzie Hancock's. He's shut down by Oscar Thomas. He'll get another crack at it. But again, Oscar Thomas not biting and puts it down to play.
He's looked composed since he's come onto the pitch, old Oscar Thomas. Certainly one for the future.
Yeah, classy young defender. I really feel like if he was at any other club, he'd have played a lot more football over the last year or so. He's a real prospect. Morton opting for the experienced pair today as Bartlett runs through, worked it to Campbell, that was cut out. City at least getting a bit more possession as we approach the hour mark. Trying to get some foothold in the second half. This one's to Kamano, eventually works it to him. Swing ball to Kelly. Kelly back to Williams. Now Bartlett. Kamano in a little pocket of space. He's just put it too far ahead of Gould. And the Christmas in the passing has been night and day between these two sides here at Darcy Street today. Gorry. To fight through the press, and they're out now. South Hobart, they're in behind. We've got runners sliding through here. Cook into the path of Walker, scrambling to get back. It was Bartlett. And he just got there. And Gorry just left it a little short for Kemp. Kept it in, worked it to the chef. Can he cook up here? He goes back to Ludlow. So short there by Cook, and Williams seizes upon it. They've got 4v3 here, City. Kamano, he's got free runners at the back post. Works into Williams, who left it behind. Still a chance here. Hancock's back the other way. Kills it and misses Kamano. And unfortunately for City, they butchered their best opening of the game there.
Yeah, you just feel that they've overplayed the ball there, unfortunately. Just not sure who it was at the top of the box there, potentially Dylan Williams, who just couldn't get the ball out from under his feet, and then fortunately for Big Mackenzie up top, he's not been able to get a hold of it either. Just as we see the switch here as Cook's coming off, and we're seeing the introduction of Brennan, as my co-commentator raised before. Another young prospect.
Quality young player, Brennan. See what he can do with 30 minutes left in this one. City, however, threatening to pull one back here. Shaping to shoot was Campbell. Well blocked. Gorry beaten to it by Kyle Kelly, but then Oscar Thomas comes through and cleans up.
Seen a little bit of a shift in this half from the City defence. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Gould spent a fair proportion of the first half playing in central defence. Bartlett spending a bit of time in midfield at that time, and certainly changed it up a little, just probably with that extra pace of Bartlett to nullify the threat in behind. Hasn't quite worked for them, unfortunately. City probably enjoying their best spell of the game in the last 5 minutes. Goes out wide to Linger. Plays it in short to Campbell, but hit away by Schmidt. Kemp composed to Brown. Back to Morton, across to Ludlow. Just gives the ball away though, unfortunately. Campaign looks to overlap, and a lovely challenge. Dan Brown, just clinical there, knocking it away, and heard a few people in the crowd who certainly love that challenge too.
He's a good exponent of it, Brown. There's a change being prepared for City here. I think young Noah Myers is going to be given a chance, and he'll be coming on for Vinny Kamano. And Myers, who was the hero in the Lucasell Jet Cup on Monday, it's his chance to try and get a bit of a consolation marker for City in this one. Deflects off the foot of Walt into the path of Brendan. Now Ludlow. Morton.
Gorry steaming to overlap here.
Brennan wants it down the line. He heads in that direction. He's There's a hold up. Wait for a few numbers in support. Eventually they come. Ludlow, Brennan, Gorry. It's Morton. It's a Gorry. South Hobart patiently probing. Just waiting for something to open up, and eventually it does. They've worked this well. Brennan to Gorry. He can get a cross in. Swigs it onto the head of Walter, who puts it onto the woodwork. That was a beautifully worked move. Superb football from South Hobart. An inch of paint. The only difference between that one being 7-0 is Noah Myers almost gets in behind at the other end.
And I just wanted to see the net bulge then. That was just a marvellous cross there from Gorry, but unfortunately Walter couldn't quite steer it in. Just striking the post there. But they're still carrying a threat here, South Hobart, and I really don't think they're done trying to score here with just the last 25 minutes of the game into play. Dylan Williams just puts the ball across to Marnie, goes out wide to Gould. Back to Marnie. To Mackenzie, who just gives the ball away, unfortunately, and it's looked to be played in behind by Ludlow to Morton, but he's just missed it. Ludlow wins the header again.
City back the other way through to Linger. Myers just worked off it there for the experienced Brown.
Certainly showing that experience there, but just a poor pass.
Kyle Kelly on the ball for City. Being pressured by Walter. Kelly eventually able to shake free and get some space, and now knocks a long searching ball for Campbell. Eventually gets on the end of it, leaves it for Hancock's. Kelly. Now Williams. South Hobart shirts back to shut down that avenue though. And Kemp sets it out in front of Brennan. The counter's on, but it was just in behind Walter. And South Hobart really keeping the back four and Ludlow in defence, and then the other four are just bursting forward when they win the ball back like this. Ludlow slides in. Bartlett looking to thread it to Myers. Couldn't pick him out. So 6-0 the score is the old...
Kieran Brown just taking his time there. Happy to be involved in the game for a little while.
Now the Morthog, lovely ball from him. Sliding in was Bartlett. Didn't quite kill it. Schmidt robbed of it by Linger. Morton gets a foot in. Eventually City should be able to clear the area, and Smith does with a thumping kick, but straight out of play. We have another look at that replay. Walter so close to making it 7.
Going to see the introduction of Loic Farrell, the Frenchman here, imposing central defensive midfielder, looking to replace Walters, and the Darcy Street crowd get right around him today. He's had a fantastic game and worked very hard for them. They let their appreciation be known.
He might move into left back here and push Connor Schmidt on. We'll wait and see what the move is. He might.
He's looking like that, Andrew.
Or he could slide into midfield. Very versatile player is Loic Farrell. But, attacker for a more defensive-minded player. Slightly conservative move. City have had a good 10 minutes or so, but even still, it's been South Hobart who've come closer to scoring in that period as they work this one out to Gorry. He's got plenty of space on the right to pick someone out with a cross. That person is Kemp, who finds the side netting with his header.
I think the referee may have given a corner just there. Didn't quite see who could have possibly gotten a touch on that one. But
yeah, I think Bartlett might just be arguing that point. Either way.
Well, I've no doubt it must have been the correct decision.
Well, I've got some doubt on that one. But, done a pretty good job today, I think. Phillips?
No, it's been well officiated, this game.
Must have just taken a little touch on the way through there.
We've certainly seen some sooks recently having a go at our officials and our refs.
Oh, Brown! So, the offside
Well
flag has been raised anyway. Spectacular leap there from Dogger Brown. But the pressure's going to be dialed up again here through Gorry, who's relentless as ever down the right. have another look at that. Lovely ball over the top. Brown, tremendous leap. Smith, well caught, but it was all for nothing really. The flag had been raised. Here's the Morthog, getting in behind, cuts it back, steered away. Not terribly convincing though. Luke Farrell on top of it. Now Adam Gorry takes a deflection. Away, only as far as the Frenchman. Back to Ludlow. Now Schmidt.
Farrell clearly playing that central defensive role at the moment and not looking too afraid to get into the box either.
Here's Gorry. Now Jakey Brennan. Marnie for company. Directs him towards the byline, but turns back and picks out Gorry, and now Bartlett smashes it upfield for Noah Myers in a battle with Oscar Thomas, and the City youngster does well, but he hasn't got a lot of support here. And the later numbers wins out as the Frenchman just comes in and says, "Excusez-moi, I'll be having that one." Now Morton lays it back. Roll. It's Ludlow to pick out the run down the flank from Kemp. Here's Kyle Kelly. Gets around Farrell, who just clipped him.
Looks a bit bemused by that one, potentially the Frenchman. But yeah, certainly got a little clip in on him. Oh. I think the ref may have been con just there.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was any contact. Bluffed it well.
Certainly did take me the second look to get that one correct though, so won't be harsh on my match officials.
Here's Dylan Williams now. A couple of runners, one of them is Hancock's glancing header. It was never threatening Kieran Brown's goal.
Sting's just really gone out of the game in the last 10 minutes or so here, Andrew. South Hobart looking very comfortable on the ball for a side that's down to 10. Launceston City unfortunately carrying still relatively little threat forward.
Corey gets to the ball first, just wanted it more. On running, Morton steps on the ball, just slows it down and waits for the attackers to get up there, and then just loses control of it there. Morton wins it back though. But Cam slides it through for the Morthog, who again loses his footing. Get your boots changed, son. And that one spills into the path of Smith. And Morton just unable to stay on his feet.
And look at this lovely bit of skill here from Gorry. Just goes past the two of them.
Such a hard runner, Adam Gorry. Say it every week, but he used the Energizer Bunny. Here's Marnie. Jared Linger. Hasn't been his day today. Can he make something happen?
Connor Schmidt can.
Schmidt to Farrell. Curls it with the left into the path of Brennan. Lovely ball. He gets inside onto the left. Plenty of City numbers popping off the middle of the box, but now Luke Farrell curling one from range. This was always wide of the mark. But when you're up 6-0, why not have a pop? Try win goal of the month.
Oh, I did say hit it.
Oh, the shot's always on.
Power onto it. This ball goes through here to Campbell.
Again, South Hobart win it back. Kobe Kemp, he's got Morton in front of him, and Ludlow on the outside. Opts for the ladder, and just dwells on it, and will allow South Hobart to get some bodies forward. Just exercising complete control of this game, the 10 men of South Hobart. One turned over by the Frenchman. Myers. Back for Kelly. Now Linger. Compain to Linger. Kyle Kelly gets his head up, looking to find an option. Instead, spreads it wide for Gould. Won by Oscar Thomas, straight to the path of the Morthog Morton. Morthog Morton deflected off Brennan, through to the keeper. I think you're right, the Sting well and truly out of this one now. It's all about getting through to next week when these two sides will lock horns again up in Launceston. And that time, Buckby Land Rover Park, the City will need the home ground to be worth quite a few goals on today's showing. Over the top from Kelly, tracked back by Brown. Thomas in ahead of Myers. And the calming presence of the Frenchman, Ludlow. Been in complete control in the midfield today, Caleb Ludlow. He's had a fantastic game.
He's knocked the ball around very well.
Not often spectacular, but it's just very, very efficient and very good at what he does, Caleb Ludlow. Important part of how they set up.
No, that's true. For a team dominant on the ball, it's necessary to have those. Ooh, just well done there from Gould to stop Brennan. But yeah, just necessary to have those really crisp, clean passes that can let you tick and tack the ball around the ground, particularly when you set up the way Kenny Morton likes to set his teams. Play proper football.
Also allows Kobe Kemp to get in more advanced roles so he can be more of a playmaker for his side. He's on the ball now and works it to the Frenchman. He swings it over the top. Gorry's taken off on a run here, but even he can't get to that one.
Yeah, just a little bit overhit there from Lloyd Farrell. Just a composed option to bring into central midfield at this point of the game. We've seen that substitution made a fair bit by Kenny Morton this season. Certainly changed the game when they played Olympia in the opening round.
Better news for Launceston City's women's team, who are leading University 4-0 in the Super League. Olympia also leading Ulverston 1-0. Zebras getting over the top of the Lions 7-2. Elsewhere in Super League action today.
Do we get any comments from Markage?
Markage, well, I don't know if he's got much to do with the women's side. He's certainly a happy man yesterday with his side letting Rangers going on the road for their first victory of the season. City unable to do the same, although coming into Darcy Street it was never likely today. Ben Brookfield having a tough first season here. A little bit unlucky early in the year, and now they've run into the tough part of the fixture where they've played the top four sides. Hasn't made things easy for them. Here's Gorry.
Oh, lovely touch from Brennan there.
Oh, Brennan gets around Linger, who has fouled him anyway. This will be called back. It was a stumbling Brennan. And a slice of cheese coming out here, I think, for Jared Linger. I
think it's a bit of a soft cheese, that one. I'm not really sure there's any intent to foul at any stage of that. More of a coming together, a bit clumsy on the side of Linger perhaps, and he's still complaining about it, that's for sure.
Yeah, well,
but I think, no, good decision from the ref to let this one go. Just a little clip on the heels there. Not quite sure it's worth a cheese, but good decision from the ref to let the play go and then bring it back when the clip caused him to miss his touch.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, Linger, but Morton now with the set piece swings it in.
A little handball, perhaps.
Dangerously bobbling around in that. We prepare to enter the final 10 minutes. So, Connor Schmidt to take the throw, or at least give it back. And apparently David Smith's just had a little bit too much to say, and he's earned himself a slice of cheese as well.
Yeah, well, if they're going to get something out of this game, Launceston City, I think it's going to be their dose of dairy this week. They're certainly looking to get a bit of calcium late in this game here. As I just look over to the corner flag of South Hobart's end, and I can see Morton's Soccer School advertised. no doubt run by the big man, Nick Morton, who's put on a clinic here today.
Nick Morton, jeez. Kenny will be on to you for that one. The reason South Hobart produced so many good young players. That would be a large part of it why. Coming through the Morton soccer skill. And the product of his wares very much on display today. They've been fantastic, South Hobart, stroking the ball around the pitch in complete control, even with 10 men.
Oh, Farrell attempts the back heel just there, but intercepted by Bartlett. Just a bit of an overlap here on for Launceston, and he's onside. Could be their first goal of the game. Brown charges out and makes a brilliant save.
Brilliantly done by Kieran Brown to deny Hancock's, whose eyes must have lit up there. He's barely had a yard of space all day.
Yeah, first real moment of worry at the back there for South Hobart, and just really well stepped up there from Kieran Brown. First real moment for him to come into the game, and does well. Still just getting a few moments here at the end where the game's coming to life, but look at that, right on the edge of his box, out quickly, well stopped by Kieran Brown. Maintains that clean sheet for his side that he'd certainly want on a day like today. Certainly taking their time to get things going, South Hobart. Schmidt to take the throw. Throws it inside to Kemp. Morton looks to flick the ball through to Gorry, who finds himself in acres of space, but just intercepted there by, I think it was Gould. Gould and Gorry go shoulder to shoulder, and Gorry's just gotten in here, and he goes himself. Another good save there from Kieran Brown.
David Smith, that one.
Oh,
Looks, but geez, he's been good today. He's got more work to do here, does he? Ludlow puts it wide. But Smith again, he stood up well, the City goalkeeper. He can't be faulted for this result. It'd be a lot worse if not for his work. And again, makes himself big, shuts down Gorry near post.
Yeah, well picked out that shot too, because had the option of going across the face there, but no, certainly alive to it, Smith.
There's a substitution in the offing for City.
The substitution here. It'll be Thomas Frost coming onto the field for what looks like Linger. He's put in a lot of effort today, Linger. A lot of his running's probably gone unrewarded, but not the worst showing from a good young player against quite a rampant South Hobart side here today.
On comes the Iceman to replace him.
As calm as a cucumber, some might say.
Some might say that. Here's Thomas. Nips in and wins it, but straight to Noah Myers. Thomas will get another bite out though, and he threads it through to an offside Brennan, who I think realised he'd strayed. Yeah,
the lineswoman in a good spot to catch that one, and he had strayed by about half a body length there. The defenders in Gould and Marnie certainly let them know.
Well, he works it across to Gould. Can City conjure up a consolation goal, or will it be a clean sheet at Darcy Street for South? Dylan Williams running the wrong direction. He turns now, picks out Compane, who couldn't control it.
Yeah, he's been under siege on that flank all day, really, Compane. There's been times in the game where we've seen Nick Morton particularly prominent over there. He's just dropped out to the right at the moment. Certainly had his hands full. Certainly think too, since Farrell has come onto the pitch, that South Hobart have really looked a little bit more composed, a little bit more comfortable to sit back on the ball, preserve their clean sheet.
Gorry nips in here. Works it to Ludlow. Now Kobe Kemp. Broken up there by Frost.
Stolen in well by Frost, yeah.
Now Mackenzie Hancock's looking to make some inroads down the left. He jinks inside and then centres it well to Williams. He's got Compain on the outside of him, picks him out, works it back to Williams. This is great movement from City, and Dylan Williams sticks it in the back of the net. So they do get a consolation goal. It was a very nicely worked move and finished by Williams.
You have to say that on the balance of play over the last 5 minutes that potentially they've deserved it.
Yeah, small sample size. But,
a lovely play there from Williams. A lovely little pass out wide to spread it and then bustled well into the box to finish ahead of Brown.
Started it and finished it. Played a nice 1-2 with Compain and Williams. Now, obviously not getting much out of it today, but maybe that can be something to kick on and give him a bit of confidence for weeks to come there, Williams. He's someone they need a lift from, City.
Yeah, Kenny Morton didn't look too impressed with that one. I think he really would have liked the clean sheet here today, but being down to 10 men, it's not too surprising that they got the overlap on them at the one occasion just there. Well done to Lonnie City for continuing to persevere. Just starting to see Brennan come into the game just here. Gorry's trying to get to the far post. Goes to Kemp, looks to Gorry, looks to get on the score sheet, I think, Gorry, and he does.
So Gorry drills it, Smith getting a piece of it with his leg, not enough to keep it out, and Adam Gorry, who has been tireless as ever, gets some reward, and the 6-goal margin restored again. Devonport's former favourite redhead smashing into the back of the net. He's now doing what he does best here at Darcy Street, and very unlucky there, Smith.
Yeah, look, he got his hands to it well, but unfortunately for him, the shot's just too well struck and really placed in a decent enough spot that he can't really do anything about it. But you have to question Launceston City on that one, because Gorry found himself in just absolutely acres of space there. When you do as well as you've done to get a goal back into the game, you don't want to concede like that quickly. And Gorry's still working hard there. He's had a fantastic game. Can still hear Kenny Morton down there barking out orders, which is good to see. Certainly not one to take the view that there's nothing to get out of a game when you're this far up. He'll certainly continue to keep trying to attack and force his players into being organised. Not the type to stand for any sort of laziness. A little bit of frustration perhaps creeping into there, and we see a slice of cheese for the big boot into the scoreboard.
Kyle Kelly coming to the booking.
Irishman, did you say?
Yep.
Yeah, bit of fire in those people. It just looks like the referee's dishing out another slice of cheese here to Campaign. There's probably 4 or 5 players here for Lonnie City today that have gotten the yellow cards. Certainly been willing to do it. Have a bit of a chat to the referee, but they're certainly discussing things over there. So yellows to Campaign and a yellow to Kyle Kelly just there. Oh, and Connor Schmidt with the nutmeg there. Hasn't he had a fantastic game out wide too? As Brennan gets played through, but Smith alert to it. Smacks the ball out of play. Like Farrell and Schmidt combined just there. Played across to Oscar Thomas, who's immediately put under a bit of pressure, and perhaps the first time that Gorry's touch has let him down there, but Gould can't make him pay this time.
Yeah, a bit frustrated there, Gouldy's heavy touch. He knew there was acres of space in behind Gorry if he could have got in there, which is something you don't see too often. Dying embers of this one, another pretty decisive victory from South Hobart.
And quite interesting today to see how much Launceston City have shifted their players around on the actual pitches. We can see now that Bartlett, who was playing midfield in the first half, dropped back into centre back, and he's now gone across to right back as Frost's come into the game. Certainly showing the willingness to mix it up a little bit, perhaps at the expense of consistency.
Real flipping of the magnets. I guess at half time they had to make some sort of adjustments because what they're doing clearly wasn't working. But unfortunately, it's been much the same story in this second half, despite South Hobart.
A little bit of foul throw about that one.
Williams went down looking for the free kick, didn't get it. Now Gorry to the wide open Morton.
They've got acres of space out on the left now.
Oh, this is looking promising. Ludlow and Kemp, I'm not sure was looking in the end. Might be able to win the ball back. Under pressure, Frost does well just to put it into touch.
Just about to enter injury time now.
So South Hobart's record at Darcy Street this year, 10-0 victory, 5-0 victory, now a 7-1 victory. All against the bottom four sides, but they have been pretty emphatic on the home deck so far in round one of the season. A bit of a fortress here. Just got to make sure they can find the results against the top teams in the second half of the season. As getting him behind here is Noah Myers, and well done Adam Gorry.
Yeah,
just
body
up
to body.
and affected the shot.
I think we're seeing Danny Brown potentially, or maybe Loic Farrell just down over the other side of the play. I think it's Dan Brown.
Yeah.
Looks to have copped a bit of a whack. He's up now though and charging in there a little bit, Brown, but looks to be fine. Kemp wins the ball back in a dangerous spot and plays the ball out to Morton. Is there a chance for one more for South Hobart here? Cuts in. Looks to drill it. Could potentially be a corner just here, but the goal kick is given. Ref certainly had a better view of that than I did. Just played out quickly here.
It's not the final whistle. Can't be too
Just
far
flagged
away.
taking the ball on the run there. I think it might have been Smith. Largely procedural at this stage of the game. South Hobart potentially just getting one more chance here, but the ball's given away by Brennan. Comes out to Hancock's. Oscar Thomas sweeps across well.
And there is the full-time whistle from Craig Phillips. Another day out at Darcy Street for South Hobart. Comfortable 7-1 victors. They get the chocolates here today. It was really all one-way traffic from the opening stages of this game, and even after they went down to 10 men with the dismissal of Hamlet, they were able to absolutely bury a City side whose struggles continue.
It's not too often that you see a team put on 3 goals after they've been reduced to 10 men, so really quite a powerful performance really from South Hobart today. I was particularly impressed with the efforts of Dogger Brown in the back. Very solid, very solid at the back actually, and seeing the run of Nick Morton just powering this team forward too. He had a fantastic game, as well as the runs out wide from Walter and Cook.
Yeah, plenty of winners out there on the day for South Hobart. Not so many for City. David Smith probably their best player, did really well. Would have been double figures if not for him. Made a number of good saves, but South Hobart continue to dominate at Darcy Street. These two teams will meet again in the Lacquer Celtic Cup next week, but next on the agenda for us is Anzac Day. Olympia and Hobart Zebras, an absolute humdinger in store on Tuesday. We'll be bringing that one live to you.
And I'm very disappointed that I can't make that one, unfortunately, with prior commitments, but a fantastic game will be on the way on Anzac Day.
Yeah, it should be a ripper. That's all we've got time for now. We'll be back on Anzac Day. Warriors taking on the Stripey Horses. Join us then. It's bye for now.
Hi, how are you? refresh, it means new battery, it's got 7 minutes.